Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 600, recording on April 9th, 2025. I'm your host, Adriel.
I'm another one of your hosts, Dustin.
I'm out of town, Tony.
I'm pulling up the show notes, Dave.
Who are you guys, and what are you doing in my living room? You don't want to invade this house, Brandon, Dave. This house has the whole wrong house mother. Yeah.
Oh God, he's throwing RC cars at us. Oh, it hurts. Ow!
Yeah.
Oh, that was good pointy bits.
Sending an airplane at me.
It's still, as one of my students said once, you know that show 1,000 Ways to Die? Well, for a lot else, there's 2,000. I mean, that is still, yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm back.
Welcome back, buddy.
Well, the drones, the RC airplanes could be drones, so yeah.
It has actually been enough episodes. I should say my name, Trevor.
Trevor's back.
For a lot. I used to matter.
Look who's back.
To offend. I love it.
Look who's back. No.
It's good to be back, even if it's only once every 100 episodes. It's good to be here. It's good to see you guys. So I sent a text to McClatchy. I'm like, dude, episode 600, you coming on? He's like, no, I've long been since forgotten. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But what about catching up with the guys? What about being with your old co-hosts? But then I remembered I was talking to Matthew, and it's not about him, so he's not interested, right? So, God, I hope he's listening. I'm actually going to tell him to listen. I'll text him right now. If you feel bus tracks right now, Matthew, that's me throwing
backing up a few times.
Yeah. So anyway, screw that guy.
More times than a Liberal MP that mouthed off to Trudeau.
Right.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, why don't we do what we did in guns? Let's go first. Let's go with Tony.
Sure. I didn't do much in guns. Update on the Savage Impulse warranty claim. Savage did come through with a shipping label, so I'm getting ready to. I still have the factory box for it, so get ready to put the rifle in there. I thought about shooting it one last time. Our range had a worker bee session plan for last Saturday, but there was some snow in the mountains. Our supply truck and trailer actually got stuck on the hill going to the range, so that didn't actually work out, but. A reminder to all the shooters that do get involved with worker bee projects, range improvements at your local range. I know
Tony?
Yep.
You keep using the term worker bee and gun range. Is this a you thing? Is this a gun range thing? Because if I ever refer to my crew at Resigush as worker bees, I mean, I get shot.
That's how our range master decided to call it. So,
that's kinder than target bitches. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Just
sure.
Worker bees. Yeah,
that's very nice. That's sweet. Little buzzing around. You need to get a little stripy outfit.
I could call my crew the Murder Hornets. They might go for that, but worker bees sounds a little soft.
I want to be the Murder Hornets.
Yeah, I want to be a Murder Hornet. That's awesome.
Just an observation. Please carry on.
Didn't do much other than that. Almost hunted 2 deers with my SUV heading east towards Edmonton this Monday. So, yeah, watch out for wild animals on the road. I was heading east in the morning, so sun was in my face. It was a close call. But I think they didn't have whitetails, so I'm gonna check my dash cam footage to see if I identified the animals correctly. But
See, if you had hit them, you'd know that for sure. Just saying.
that would have delayed my trip up here. So then I might not meet Adriel
But
tonight.
you would have
so we'll see
arrived
about
with
that.
venison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be late with meat.
Does Alberta even have salvage tags yet? I
Who
don't know.
cares?
What are
You're
the
on the
rules?
truck and you go home.
What are the rules for that in Alberta? If you hit the deer in Alberta, are you allowed to pick it up? Because in Saskatchewan, you had to get a friend to come get that deer.
Yeah, and here they won't let you.
Interesting.
Ontario, they will, right, Dave? Or at least I know at one time they did.
So I will say that a couple of years ago, I hit a deer, and I had my little VW with me, so I had no room, and it was packed full of crap. And the cop shows up, and he's blah, 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 and then he's like, "You want that deer?" And I'm like, "Nope." And he's like, "Grab some legs." And he threw it in the back of the cruiser, and I'm sure he
Amazing.
probably went and gutted it in the garage at the police station.
Nice.
So I guess, I don't know. I lived in the country. It never occurred to me to ask permission.
I had a friend drive from Ontario after orchestrating a deer hitting next to a farm that was growing corn and soybeans. He drove from Ontario through Quebec with a truck full of rifles and a hindquarter of deer meat in a garbage bag. And he looked something like a Viking biker. Like none of this would have been good if he would have been stopped in the Belle Province. Like he'd still be there.
Beautiful.
I get home from work. He's asleep, passed out on the couch, and there's a garbage bag on my barbecue bleeding on the floor of my garage. Right in the island in the kitchen covered in rifles.
Did you say
I
thank
missed
you?
that guy. Yeah. And then my dog ate the roast we cooked that night, like all of it. We were like out of beer, so we went to get beer. We came back. The dog's on the couch where he was dying. The kitchen looks like a crime scene. No fucking roast left. I was like, I almost ate chocolate lab that night.
Oh my god.
Oh, amazing.
Can't make
I need
it.
to ask Trevor, did you go out hunting last year, 2024 season?
Yeah. I came on after that, didn't I? To talk about my moose hunt? Yeah, I
yeah, I
Talk
think
to your
so.
moose hunt.
Yeah,
So-
I got my first moose license ever, and I hunted extremely hard for 15 minutes and
Yeah.
bagged my first moose.
And you were
Bastard.
camp bitch for the next week, right?
No,
No,
I drank for 2 days and went back to work.
Lucky.
Yeah, that wasn't my story.
Well, I would have
Sounded like
been
a good
camp
plan.
bitch, Dustin. So I was like, I'm out.
I was too young. I didn't know I could leave.
If ever you're in a camp in the woods and you don't feel like you can leave, you're in the wrong camp.
There.
Ding, 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 ding,
You may have been
ding,
camp
ding.
gimp, not camp bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
There you go.
Yeah, I was saying you got yourself a pretty mouth, boy.
That's right.
Oh, how do I get out?
Let's play pass Dustin around.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Is it Thursday already? Oh, yeah, actually, no, that's tomorrow.
Oh god.
Tony, sorry.
Do we go to Dustin next?
Wow, if you're done, sure, yeah. Dustin?
All right. I, like Tony, didn't do a ton. I cleaned up my reloading bench because it was getting disastrous from lots of stuff and projects. Reloaded some 9mm, as one is often to do. Yeah, I cleaned the rest of my guns from that camping trip I took a couple weeks ago. So everything's nice and clean and put back to bed for next time. And I took one of my roommates out for her first shooting experience for her birthday. So that was
Nice.
cool. Yeah. And yet again, everybody slams me for having that wheel gun. That is hands down, like new shooters, that GP 100 is everyone's favorite gun to shoot first time round. I think it's the like single action trigger. You put 38 in it. It's and it's got nice squishy grip, so it's really comfortable to shoot. Everybody that shoots with that thing, they're a laser beam. It's everyone. So that was fun. She had a really good time, and which is really cool. She's really apprehensive around it, but really wanted to do it. So
Cool.
and then I've been obviously doing the getting into lots of political fights on the internet, as one is to do at this time of year. 'Tis that season. Not too many, but a couple.
So many
and,
morons.
There's so many stupid people. It's great, and it's not my fault. I'll post a thing, and then they'll comment something witty on it, and then I'll shut them. Yeah, real clever stuff.
Conservatives are dumb.
Yeah, unhinged, evil.
Agree with me, or you're racist.
That's pretty much that. There's been a lot of that. I can't believe you would even contemplate voting for the people. Do you know that they're completely against the LGBT? I'm like, pretty sure they're not.
Every leader's gay and Jewish, so I mean, maybe they're just bad at it. They're working their way up. They're going to have a gay Jewish woman, and then eventually they'll turn into Nazis.
Yeah, right.
That's working on it.
It's the big reveal at the end. And then I did the important thing that we all need to do, especially right now.
Hold on, Dustin.
Yo.
Random Dave, are you eating? Mute your goddamn mic.
No,
Dustin's trying to talk, and all I hear
my
is
mic is muted.
Eating chips.
It's not muted.
My mic. Well,
it is now.
Adriel, how have you let these things slide? Like, what have we become?
Look at the QC here.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, do you see any adults in the room, Trevor?
Kelly's not there.
He's relying on the guy with the cat on his shirt.
Pretty much, yeah. I love the pizza cat, by the way. And then the last thing that I did, something that we should all be doing right now, did a little volunteering for my local conservative candidate. I volunteered my truck to go put some lawn signs out because that was a thing. I had an afternoon off and I could help. And especially after the liberal lawn sign fiasco of the other week, I was like, okay, fine. I'll go put some signs out that actually belong where they belong. So
I emailed mine last time, just at the provincial level when we had a provincial election. I'm like, how do I get some signs for my lawn? Never replied. I'm like, oh, okay. You're working hard.
I don't get people to work for you. An hour later.
My local Liberal MP was kind enough to put a lawn sign on my lawn, courtesy of somebody trolling me. So,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was entertaining because, like, I know the MP really well. He was a little surprised when I opened the door.
I would have painted a swastika on it and then took a picture and called him. Said, "Look what happened."
Well, I was kind of sad I caught it. Like, the interaction was fun, and like the information I got from it was entertaining too. Just to know, like, it was definitely someone trolling me. They were using like my like email. It's with my union, so like I know it was only could have been a couple of people, but
sounds like something I would do.
Right? Yeah. And the only downside is that he's like, well, I guess, it's a good thing. Like, I get to save the sign. And it was like, well, can you leave it? I'm going shooting in a couple of days here. Like,
Those great target backers.
They do.
Oh, he actually didn't put it on your lawn.
He did. He was putting it on the lawn, but then I came outside and he took it with him because I didn't want it there. So I just, I didn't have the heart to say, hey, you can leave that there. I'm going to go to the shooting range later because I didn't think he would leave it there.
Suddenly, headline, crazy gay man threatens local Liberal MP with guns.
That's exactly.
That's what would happen.
That's all. That's all.
Not wrong. Yeah.
Yep.
But so that's all I did. Dave, what did you do in guns?
Well, starting at Christmas, since that's the last time I was on to talk about what I've done in guns, I ordered myself a DAA Lynx belt and built it.
They make stuff.
Their stuff's freaking awesome. It's expensive, but
they send you a coupon code on your birthday, though.
Do they? That's cool. Yeah. So it's cool. So those of you who don't know, the Double Alpha Academy Lynx belt comes in bits. So it's like Lego. And you pick how fat you are, and they send you the pieces, and the pieces can all be whatever color you want. They've got like every color in the rainbow. I threw some, where are they? I threw some purple bits on it just because I like purple.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. And because I had from David, what's his name? Copping? Copping, Dave Copping.
It's not worth pronouncing correctly.
Thanks, Trevor.
You're welcome.
I bought a bunch of cheapy go fast stuff that I hadn't used, and I've had it sitting around for my shadow for a couple of years, and I run like a crappy Uncle Mike's belt that I hate and I've had for like ever. So I decided to treat myself and buy an actual gun belt. So
nice.
I got this thing all set up. It was so much fun to put together. I'm like, I got my hammer out. I'm like nailing the little divot, the little rivets or pins in between, the roll pins in between them all, and hooked everything up and bought the fancy ratchet buckle so you can ratchet it on when it's
So
done.
it's kind of like a watch band.
It totally
Add a link,
is.
remove a link.
Yeah, it totally is. You just nail it all together with these little roll pins they give you.
Super
And
stiff.
then, yeah, it's freaking awesome. And their inner belt, oh my God. Like compared to my Uncle Mike's, you put that thing on your pants and stick the gun belt to it, that thing's on. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It is not gonna
you
move.
bought competition gear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. I've never worn anything but the Uncle Mike's, which is junk, but whatever. So I'm super happy about this. So now I have to go get my IPSC black badge again and go shoot some IPSC.
Nice.
Which I also haven't done since 2009. Well, a little after that, but it's been a long time.
We're gonna do it before they stop letting us.
Yeah. Well, and there's that. What else did I do? I cleaned up my gun room. I was sick of hitting my head on the lights in here because I have a low ceiling. So I found out that they have pot lights that fit into octagon boxes.
Nice.
Yeah, freaking sweet. So I bought a couple of those. They stick out of the ceiling like 1/4 inch or something, but yeah, it's tight. Sold a bunch of ammo, some 7.62 54 to Kyle from Ottawa. So hello, Kyle from Ottawa. I gave away a bunch of crap. And then I was at the Toronto Sportsman Show with the Ontario Rifle Association, the fellows at TITS and the Olympic Trap and Skeet people on Target 22 was there, 22 and air rifle people. So we shared a booth and spent 2 days basically saying F the liberals to like everyone except one dude who was okay that they were banning guns. He thought that was cool, that we wouldn't have any of our guns anymore because he said, well, if they take my Remington repeater, I'll just buy a single shot. I'm like, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like property rights aren't anything, but everybody else that I met was like, this sucks. And my favorite bit, this mom came up to chat with us, and I was chatting with her for a bit. And I asked her if she'd, had you lost any guns in the gun ban last time? She's like, no. And then she her son's sitting beside her, and she's like, hey, buddy, tell the man what the government took away from you. And this kid, he's like 7, he's like, they took my GSG and I can't use it anymore and I hate them. And I'm like, that's right, buddy. That's an important lesson to learn when you're young. She looks at me and she's like, oh, that's right. Yeah, he hates the government because they took away the gift that I bought him for Christmas. So the government takes children's Christmas gifts.
Wow.
Wow.
Quite apparent though.
Yeah, I'm like, I love you.
That's so good.
They took my GSG and I hate them. Like we need to get this kid at like Parliament Hill to like do testimony in front of the committee that's taking all our guns. You take that kid up there and he can say something.
Did you encounter a lot of young folks at that show? Like when I did the show,
ton.
Yeah, like a lot that can't get any of the fun things because they got into guns too late.
Oh yeah. There were a ton of young people there that just got their firearms licenses, and a couple of them I talked to said they didn't even know you could shoot in Canada until the government started banning everything, and they realized that guns were legal, so they went and got their gun licenses because that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was really cool. It was nice to hang out with similar minded people for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And hung out with my buddy Greg. He was there, and Greg gifted me. Can I handle guns, Adriel?
Yes.
I can. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not on YouTube. I thought we'd handle guns, so I didn't. do the
Yay.
YouTube thing.
So he gave me a Lakefield Mark III.
Ooh.
Mark III.
Mark III.
Yeah.
It's not a Mark II.
It is not. It's a Mark III, and it has this on it. Check this
What
out.
the hey?
Ah,
What's that for?
That
Is it a vertical foregrip?
Tommy gun grip. I've never seen one with this.
Tell me that's part of the takedown procedure or something. That is not actually intended to be a vertical grip.
It is literally a vertical grip. There's
That
nothing
is
behind it except a little thing.
ridiculous.
Isn't it silly?
That's
Might use
hilarious.
It might be
and
useful
great.
as a monopod.
Yeah.
I
Tell me it's that. Tell me it's that, and I could be a little less upset. But like
All right,
this,
it's a monopod.
next to Tapco on an SKS or rails on a lever action, this is my newest hatest thing.
But it is
so bad.
actually it's built into the gun. Now, I've never seen one of these on one of these.
For
and
good
neither
reason.
he
They found the guy who came up with it and beat him silly.
shot him.
Ridiculous.
It is stupid. The reason he gave me this was I was staying
Well, it's
with
because of
him
that
one night.
foregrip. He's like, I can't have this anymore. Every time I touch it, I lose 14 IQ points.
It's pretty dumb, but it's interesting. This is the first rifle that I ever fired, and
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So buddy of mine, Dad had one, and it's in really good shape. I mean, it's a Lakefield, so that probably increases its value by about $1. It does say Lakefield Mossberg on it, which is kind of interesting. So probably just after the company got taken over.
I was gonna say that makes it a newer one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how old it is. It's got a Bushnell
newer.
3x7 custom 22 scope.
I
Very
know that
fancy.
scope. That scope is amazing. There's
It's-
one of those here somewhere.
I'm actually surprised how good the glass is.
Yeah, me too.
It's actually really clear.
Every time I saw one in someone's collection, I always just assumed that was just like, might as well be in an air rifle crap. Nope. Perfect
Yeah.
little scope for a 22.
It's actually really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the first gun I'd ever fired. He had a friend of his die, an older friend of his died, and the wife gave him all his guns because she was just going to turn them into
Wait, is
cops.
that the exact gun or is it just the model of gun?
It's the model.
Oh, still.
Yeah, no,
okay.
it's just-
Well, there. I'm glad Tony brought that up. How many of us here have the first firearm we ever fired? Got it from our dad or whatever.
I do, because I'm the first firearm owner in my family.
He's
Yeah,
got the
me
easy
Okay,
too.
one.
well, that's pretty lame. You're also very young. It doesn't even basically count as an answer. Adriel, just kidding.
I'd have to ask my dad. I have no idea.
Okay. Might still have it. Well, I don't
Too
have
long.
I mean, like most 50-year-olds, would have been a Cooey single shot, like a 39. Don't have that, but I do have the first shotgun I ever fired, which was my dad's 20 gauge Bacale. So
Oh,
that,
cool.
yeah, that and the matching 12 gauge are both in the collection.
Nice. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I know where the first gun I ever fired lives, but
Yeah?
but I don't own it.
I'm not very nostalgic, but stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
even that, Dave, like it's not the identical one, but it's the same make and model. You know what I mean? That's still cool.
Yeah. So he saw my eyes light up when I saw it. So afterwards, like, do you want that gun? Your eyes lit up. I'm like, yeah.
So what is it? Is it a bolt action? Is it semi-auto?
It's a semi-auto 22. They still actually make magazines for it because I think they still make pretty much the
Yeah, but
same
they're
model.
plastic. The new
Yeah, but
ones
they're
are all
plastic
crappy
now.
plastic.
Yeah, this one's metal and it's got metal follower in it too. So
Yeah.
pretty tight. What else happened that weekend? I ran into Tracy and Rod. Yay! I didn't have a chance to
nice.
talk to Rod. He was busy, but got a hug from Tracy and we commiserated about how much the government sucks. Ran into Antler Arms from Quebec. They make really nice guns. I don't know how they shoot, but they are very, very nice bolt guns. Saw Kilgore at Vortex as always. Ran into the Canuck guys. There wasn't much in the way of guns there, which I wasn't shocked by because all the guns got banned.
Yeah.
But there were a couple guys there. Canuck was there with their stuff. Not Maple Ridge. What the hell's Maple Ridge now? Why am I drawing a blank? Those
Victory.
guys. Victory Ridge. They were out. Somebody had some Sterling R9s there.
Oh.
Fun little rifles. So they were selling those. Quigley Ford Custom Hunting Scopes, whom I had completely forgotten about. He's from Nottawa, which is down the street. He's like 10 minutes from the place I work. I drive by his house on my way to work all the time. So if you ever want a really expensive but really cool hunting scope, QuigleyFord.com. Nice guy. And they set the scopes up for your guns. You tell them what you have, what bullet you're planning on firing, and it's BDC. BDC. You just
So they make the reticle
set
to your
up.
load.
They do.
Wow.
Yeah, not cheap, but gorgeous glass, like gorgeous. Really, really nice. So, yeah, very cool stuff. And I ran into a fun dude called the Firestarter Guy, thefirestarterguy.ca. He makes some really nice camping fire starters. And then he has his dream job. I chatted with him for a while. He goes around places and sets things on fire and people give him money.
That's a pretty good job.
Right?
That's great. Can you imagine? You're an arsonist and you're getting paid.
I know.
That's
So he's
amazing.
just sitting there setting stuff on fire, setting corn chips on fire and
Man, that guy
cotton
really
balls and all sorts of stuff, right? And he's
cornered the
this
market on.
younger dude. He lives out in the middle of nowhere I think he's in Saskatchewan, but this little
Most
town with
people-
like 100 people, and this is what he does, and this is his dream job.
Like most people who have that tendency to burn stuff end up on meds. This
Yeah,
guy
right?
gets paid, right?
Yeah,
No,
he turned
don't
it into
listen
a
to the
business.
voices,
Yeah, listen to them; they'll make you millions.
right? Good for him.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. He was a really cool dude. We chatted for a little bit. What else did I did? I cleaned my Colt Canada IUR because I realized that I hadn't cleaned it after the last time I used it. So that's been a bit. So cleaned that. Cursed the Liberals a bit and their inability to allow me to take my gun to the range. I volunteered with the local Conservative Riding Association. So far, I've been booked already the nights they called, but I will eventually help them because we need the clown show to stop.
Yep.
Ordered new sling mounts for my 1022 because I discovered when I am maple seating and I'm all slung up, my quick disconnects are on the side of the gun, so I can't hold the gun properly because it pulls off to the side. So I got a quick disconnect for the bottom of it for the foregrip. And now it doesn't. It's perfect. So I've got two quick disconnects there, so I can just flip it back and forth, whatever I want to do. I ordered a bunch of new parts for my 1022 and took all the old parts off my Gucci 1022 and put them onto rebuilt the old 1022, and then took all the Gucci parts I bought and put them on my new 1022. So my gray birch is now all Gucci bits. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then I ordered a bunch of parts for my Remington 700 Police because all my semi-automatics got banned in the last one. So if I can't shoot my nice semi-automatics, I'm going to at least have a nice bolt gun to shoot. So
I'm surprised you didn't put your SBI together.
I mean, I could, but I got to get a lower parts kit. I got to go take all the parts out of one of my ARs and I'm like, meh. Or I could just do cool things with the Remington 700 that I hate. So it's a 700 Police, and it doesn't have. I ordered a new scope for it, so I've got a Nikon 6x24x50 on it, X100 black, which is a really nice scope. Just bought that, but then the problem is the scope's so big, the scope mount sits really high, so my stock doesn't have a cheek riser, so the stock doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't have a detachable magazine. It's a 4-round integral box magazine. And one thing I've noticed with Remington 700s, when you stick a round in, unless you stick it in absolutely perfectly straight down, it goes into the receiver. Terrible design.
I've heard about it, and surprising, I've never actually shot a 700 proper, like the old box. I know it's somehow a very popular and traditional design back in the day. It's just integral box magazine, sometimes hinge floor plates.
Yep, that's what this one has. And it's terrible because if I use it for anything like hunting, which I mean, it's 14 pounds. It's not a hunting rifle, but I have used it for deer. Or even on the range, like I just single load it when I'm on the range, which mostly works because the integral magazine on it is hot garbage. It is terrible. And this is a police rifle. I'm like, this is awful. So I ordered a Cadex Nuke Evo for it. So I ordered one of those stocks, and then I ordered a big fat bolt handle which bolts on, and I ordered 6 magazines for it because I'm like, whatever. I want a bunch of magazines, so I just ordered a ton of magazines, and I ordered a few other things for it. Yeah, it's AICS pattern. The ones that
the
Cadex makes because they're the same color as the
cool
stock. So I ordered it.
Cadex makes AICS mix.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I knew MDT did. I didn't know Cadex made them too.
Oh, wait, was it MDT? Who makes the Evo?
That's Cadex.
That's Cadex.
I'm pretty sure they were Cadex mags.
Cool.
They were the same color. So that was a very expensive order. That was a bit nuts, but I'm like, screw it. Whatever. It's only money. I can make more. So I'm waiting for that stuff to arrive, and I'm very excited to put it all in and then not have to have that ridiculous magazine on my Remington because the thing is stupid accurate. Like it shot the smallest group I've ever shot with a rifle. It shot like a 1/4-inch group with it one time. So I definitely want to get a better mag on it, and then I'm good to go. And that's it.
Perfect. All right. Kyle, did you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next.
And
By the way, hello.
Kyle and acquaintance.
Yes. So, I guess go most recent. Craig flew in. We're heading to Texas 3-gun championship tomorrow morning.
Shut
yeah,
up.
I worked out, drove to, while I was working in Midland today, he flew in. So picked him up, and so we're going to load up first thing in the morning, probably around 3:30, hit the road, and yeah.
Awesome.
Ouch.
Over the last couple weeks, because we didn't get into it last week, well, Trevor brought up something. First firearm ever shot. I do have it.
Nice. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a gooey.
And cut down for kids.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Peep on the back.
Deep sight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, aperture sight. This one's actually a Winchester model 6722.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I got one of those over here as well.
Ooh.
Nice. I got looking at my rifle because I had some issues with it at Superstition right at the end going bolt action. The buffer looks good. I was looking at the mag, and the follower seems a little tight. So, like, you can really hear it. It's really nice.
Nice.
Ugh.
So, we were watching you
Sounds like
guys
a
just
turkey
playing
call.
around. I think I'm gonna be changing out that mag body and try a different mag this weekend. Brand new one.
Is it a Magpul or no?
Yeah, that's Magpul.
It
Is it-
annoys me that
is it
you
the
say
mag?
The one mag I'm using for the whole match. That's what
Yeah.
I'm hearing there. That
Yeah,
annoys me.
I basically put this in, and then I'll carry a 30 in my belt, and this has the extension pad on it. So I've been using like the same mag for the last couple of years. So who knows? It might be that I just built a rifle that needs to be extremely clean, even though it seemed clean. And after my first station on that stage, it started cycling. So it's like I got, I don't know, half dozen to 10 rounds out, and it started cycling again. So
Maybe
I was
it is
thinking maybe
time
buffer or it was mag issue, but yeah, it seems a little tight, but at the same token, the follower wouldn't be at that point at that part in the stage. So
Yeah, I
don't know.
don't know if it would be it doesn't sound like it sounds bad, but it doesn't sound that bad. You checked
Yeah.
your gas block and you had oil on the pivot pin and all that kind of thing. Not on the pivot
Yeah.
pin, on the amp pin, sorry.
yeah, I mean, it had done it a couple times during the match, not to me, but to guy was borrowing it, and like we took it home after the first day and cleaned it down. But then we didn't do it the second day. But I've ran rifles on multiple matches and not had to worry about cleaning them. So
No, I'm
yeah, maybe it's just at a
rounds
point now where it
there.
needs to be super clean, because it still goes to bolt lock. So yeah, be interesting. And yeah, other than that, yeah, we're just gonna spend the rest of the night going through all the gear and get that all squared away. And well, they released stages for Texas, and there's gonna be one shotgun stage that's gonna be fun. This is a 40 round minimum round count shotgun stage.
Whoa.
And it's a natural terrain.
Wow.
It's natural terrain at that. So it's not 40 rounds in a little bay. It's 40 rounds running through a gully or something. I'm willing to bet.
Cool.
That barrel's gonna be
Target
hot.
misses and the amount of reloads you got to do. Jesus.
Oh yeah, I'll wear every caddy I own.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, they're releasing some videos. We're gonna be stretching out over 600 yards yet again. Sounds like there's a bunch in the like 500-600 yard range. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting this year. So it looks like they're going back into some old areas they used before, maybe opening. I know last year they were talking about opening up some new areas as well. So. But besides the few videos that they put out, you don't even get a picture on the stage description, because natural terrain, they can't accurately represent that. So you literally it's a written stage brief. That's it. Not even a diagram to even think and look at. So we do know there's slug shots out to about 130 yards.
Ooh, that's getting
So,
tough.
Gee,
So starting to get out there. But
on what? Big steel? What?
yeah, it would
paper?
be a big steel. It'd probably be about 12 by 18.
It dings or it doesn't.
Say again?
It dings or it doesn't.
Pretty much, yeah. A lot of these ranges use the flashers. The slugs you pretty much know. I'm actually trying to recall if they have the flashers on the slugs or not. Do you remember? No, they didn't know. But yeah, the slugs make a big enough splash that you pretty much know. But all the rifle, if it's out past like 100, 150 yards, they got probably 4 flashers on the thing. And so as long as one of them goes off, you're good.
No, that's good.
So way easier, like 223 out 600 yards trying to spot the splash on that.
It's impossible.
Not
yeah,
good.
you go that far. At least put up something that's a falling target, a plate or some, 8-inch plates that fall over or something.
No, then you got to go out there
Well,
and cut it.
well, yeah, you'd have to go with the LaRue's then, the self-resetting ones, which Arizona, like Phoenix, does have them, but I haven't seen them for years. They used to have them, and those would be your 500-yard shot, the LaRue's, and you'd shoot, and it would drop, and then after about 5 seconds, it self-reset.
Yeah,
But they haven't used that for years.
If it doesn't do that, Adriel's right. You got a guy in a quad going down, resetting, and oh, come on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you didn't have the self-resetting ones, it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, no.
The terrain would be impossible to quad to in Texas.
What's that?
The terrain would be impossible to quad to in Texas.
Yeah.
Like it would take you 10 minutes to get out to some of the targets.
Yeah, just put flashes out. It's faster.
Yeah, they don't have the roadways like Rio Salado in Mesa does for Superstition. Superstition, they have roads out to where most stuff is, but yeah, no, it'll be a good match and be a good time, and yeah, I think after Texas, Adriel, you and I will have to get together and do another match breakdown because I'll have Superstition and Texas to go over at that point.
Yeah, well, I know Ian wanted to do one of those as well, so maybe we can do one with like his Battle of Alberta from last year.
Yeah, sounds good.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm sure I could dig up a few other videos too. Depends on how long we want to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Things have been busy, but who's left to go?
I think I am, and then Trevor as well. Let's see. I hit the range. So was it been 2 weeks? No. Last time we just talked shit last show. That's what happened. Yeah. Let's see. So I hit the range with that Kui 64 and some other stuff. So not my first gun to shoot, but I know just an old Kui 64 with the new and improved magazine, the steel one rather than that plastic one.
Ooh.
And it ran all right. Yeah, not much to say about that one. Ran okay and it was fine. Used the Crony some more. And I still really like that Garmin Zero. It's still amazing. It's like getting data on everything is so good. Like, for example, the 17 HMR had that A17 stuff that's like 100 FPS faster. Like,
yeah, the stuff that was supposed to be for the semi-auto.
It is 100 FPS faster, though. Nice. I cronied it. Yep. It's exactly 100 FPS faster. So, yeah, if you want the hot stuff, you got to get that A17 stuff. Shot the Mosin, shot the M1 Garand, SKS. I can't remember if I had my SKS out or not, but yeah,
we can still have Garands and SKSs.
You bet we can. Yeah.
What SKS? What Garand?
For now.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, for now. And then so I got a bunch of 410 ammo from an old lady who's getting out of firearms. I was like, what am I gonna do with all this 410 ammo? Buy a 410. That's what I'm gonna do. So I saw this was on sale at Western Metal. It's one of the little Charles Daly ones. My buddy has the 14-inch barrel version. I don't really like it. It's a little bit too loud. It's 14-inch, and like when you fold these things, the 14 it's shorter, but who cares? Like, why don't you just get something that's as long as the buttstock?
Right.
So it's a little bit less loud.
Yeah.
A little bit more sight radius on it. It's a little bit nicer to shoot, and it packs away in a motorbike side bag, which is what I want it for.
That's fabulous.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That is a cool gun. But for some reason, Like I really love a side by side 410. A double barrel side by side 410
Ooh.
is so cool.
Never seen one of those.
Yeah.
Neat.
I think Spanish. I don't think I've ever seen one that wasn't Spanish. So they look kind of decorative. They have that old school, not like even fancier than a Stagecoach, like side by side.
Spain is like the old school Turkey, right? Where
Yeah, exactly.
you don't have a British gun, you will have a Spain gun or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've actually got a couple of these. I've got like some 12 gauges and 20 gauges and that kind of thing. They're just very cheap. They're very cheap, good and bad.
Like, aren't they like $140 or something? Or at least they were.
Yep. Still are $140.
Yeah. So you're getting a $140 gun. So when you say cheap, it's all the cheap.
It's cheap and it's cheap.
I like this gun's going to see some abuse because it's going to go on a motorbike on a side bag that I might crash while I'm going around dirt roads and that kind of thing. And I'm going to use it to shoot grouse, and I don't really give a crap about how it looks. So
right, and you're going to be drinking that day, so who knows? Like,
that night.
Who can predict these things?
At least when you fall over on your bike, you won't have to scramble to wonder if your rifle's okay. It's like, I'll just see if I broke anything.
And be reaching for his bottle instead.
It's the best thing about a cheap gun is you don't have to care about it too much.
Exactly.
Like cheap women.
Yeah. Because I was looking at other 410s, like Inner Surplus had some European single shots, but they don't fold. And they had the only ones they had left just had enormous barrels on them. They're like 26 inches. Like, man, I don't want a humongous 410.
That's the
I want
classic
a little one.
length, right? Like
on a 410.
Back in the day, 24 is already pretty short.
Yeah. Whereas this one's 20.
Is that round stopped accelerating by the time it gets out of a 24? Or are you actually losing velocity at that point?
I can't imagine they're getting anything past like a 14-inch barrel on it. Yeah, no, I don't think it's even worth worrying about it at that length. But no, that should be good. And then what else I do? I've been selling a bunch of brass. There's a bunch of brass I've been just sitting on for I don't know, a decade. And I've just been cleaning it, depriming it, and selling it on gun posts and that kind of thing. And then my 300 Win Mag. So I had my Citron 6-24 on it, which just for testing. It's too big. It's a little bit too heavy. And so I started making a chart of like all these scopes I wanted to consider to buy for it. Right. I wanted something with a 30 millimeter tube. I wanted something no exposed turrets because I've had a couple of times where I pull a rifle out of a case and it zips the turret. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen and me not notice it, right? So I want capped turrets, and like otherwise just simple. So I've been looking at scopes, making this list, and I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just ask these guys and see if they'll send me these scopes? But I did. So one of them was Riton, so I got them to send me a couple of the versions. This is their like ultralight 3 to 14, 3 to 16. Lots more than a 3 to 9, 3 to 15. Sorry,
5X.
Yeah. So I got this one. I got another one, and while I was at it, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna ask for a whole bunch of stuff like a practical and then full retard. And ready?
Oh, there it is. Oh, beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
You need to put it on the SKS, man. You gotta give that retro look. Cold War.
It's a digital scope, so it's not it's got that's a camera lens right there.
Yeah.
So into a camera, screen on the back, rangefinder, infrared spotlight, which I'm just gonna take off. That's just for the memes, but I'm gonna put it on a 22, and I'm gonna go shoot some gophers with it in a couple weekends here, and I'm gonna get footage of blasting gophers.
That's fun.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good for that because it'll be like the reticle and everything will be in there, and I'll cook some gophers.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and like with that off, it doesn't look as ridiculous. It doesn't look as ridiculous.
No.
I'm kind of curious to see. So I'm going to put this rangefinder here. You can set up your ballistic profile where it'll show you where it's going to drop, similar to the burst eliminator. So I can laze, hold over, fire, and maybe make it back. I don't know.
Looks like something from Warhammer 40K.
Yeah. Downsides, it's fucking heavy. It's really heavy. The battery life on it, 6 hours.
Ooh. And is that
Actually
6
worse than I
hours
thought.
indoors? Like, how's the battery life when you're outdoors in the cold in Alberta? And
Oh yeah, I'm not going to be using this in like deer hunting season or anything like that.
no.
No, I don't think so. But in the springtime, shooting gophers, I think
fun.
that's what we're going to do. Yeah,
What's that bad boy worth retail?
900 bucks. Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's also pretty limiting in what you can do with it. Right, you wouldn't want to put that on a deer rifle or anything like that. But on a 22, shoot some gophers, and you get some decent footage of shooting gophers.
Yeah, be fun.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll see how that goes. It purports to have like night vision. It's not night vision. Like you can kind of see things. It's like, oh, I can kind of see it, but then you pull it off. You're like, I can see it with my bare eyeball. Like it's not really. If you turn on the spotlight there, the infrared spotlight will light things up pretty good in black and white. But that's not really night vision, right? That's more just, I don't know, infrared vision. So
Still better than nothing.
What's that?
Sometimes still better than nothing.
Better than nothing. I don't have a use for it because I can't hunt at night, so I don't know what the point of having an infrared spotlight on a scope is. But
Some states allow you to hunt coyote and hogs at night, right? So
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
You know, raccoons at night in Ontario.
Yeah. I got some more scopes on the way, so we'll see. It should make for a good breakdown of some different various scopes. There's been a lot of like new scope manufacturers recently, and I'm just like I didn't buy them just because like I don't recognize the brand, therefore I'm not gonna. So I'm not, Rayton's an example, right? But there's some decent stuff coming out, so I wanted to test it. I sent a Maple Seed email, so we've got some Maple Seed events opening up, so we'll talk about that in the events. I did a PAL RPAL course last weekend. PAL was sold out. RPAL, not so much. I don't know why people would be even getting RPALs these days, but a lot of people just want to like double up, like have it just in case, be looking at it rather than be looking for it, and like borrowing and that kind of thing. But getting into the summer here, if depending on how the election goes, I might cut down the number of restricted PALs I do. This weekend, I've got another PAL coming up. I'll be doing one way up north of Fort McMurray at a reserve. And I was just kind of thinking, like, as Dave was talking about getting some of his gun stuff on some of his other firearms, maybe I should get my Maple Ridge Armory 6.5 rolling again. Because I had taken it apart and put it together and taken it apart, and I was waiting for some other parts, but maybe I should take some parts and put them back on there and get it going.
We were being too hopeful. We were trying to assemble the ARs. They're coming apart again.
That's what I did.
Is that one of those straight pulls, Adriel?
Yeah. One of the straight pull ones. I could do it in 308 or 6.5. I've got both barrels.
I built my one more AR just because I'm like, I haven't assembled this thing and I really want to build another AR. Well, I still can. So I put it together and enjoyed the freedom.
The freedom to look at it.
The freedom to then immediately lock it up. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to Canada.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you should harvest the lower parts kit out of that thing.
You gotta knock out pins. It seems easier just to buy a new lower parts kit and not worry about it.
Can you even get lower parts kits?
Not right now.
No.
Red Deer probably have them.
No, the
Red Deer
CBSA,
Shooting
like,
Center probably has them.
if they've still got them, right? Like the CBSA has been stopping those for a long time.
Really? How come?
Interesting.
Oh,
Because they can.
Because they could only conceivably go in a prohibited rifle that's not allowed for Canada. So,
Except for these straight pull rifles.
well, it's the government, Trevor. They don't have to make sense.
Parts kit.
Yeah.
Because
Trevor, what have you been up to recently?
So, some stuff. So obviously, I survived my surgery because I'm still here. So that was good. That slowed me down for a while, so I wasn't able to do much stuff. But when I was on the show, it was between shooting the moose and getting my kidney carved up, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that went well. Surgery was 11:30 on Thursday, and 2:00 the next day. I was like, "Get me the F out of here." I would have rather went to a Venezuelan hospital. It was the worst freaking experience. So yeah, we got like the doctor didn't want to let me go, but I was going anyway. So he said, just when you go home, rest. So they don't tell you when you get laparoscopic surgery, they inflate you with gas.
And you get gas.
Yeah.
The gas comes out through your skin. And the best way to describe it is imagine someone is peeling your skin off your bones with a pair of pliers without sedation. Pretty close to it. When a Gallon came to see me, and you had to walk to move the gas through your system and stuff. So just going for a walk with Gallon and moaning like a zombie.
Somehow they can't degas you before they close you off.
Nope, comes out through your skin. Good times. So the drive home was fine. Stopped once just for a quick break. We didn't go all the way home. We just went as far as Bathurst, and I didn't this whole time. Like, I took nothing more than a regular strength Tylenol. And when we got to Bathurst, I didn't have any. So she went out to get a bottle of Tylenol. I walked around. It was really starting to work its way out from the drive. And I laid in the bed, and it's like, imagine, I've never been tased. I know, right? I'm surprised too. And it was like the gas was coming out, and it was like I was getting tased, and then the taser button was turned off. Like I was in spasms. It was crazy. Wow. But after that, I stayed in that bed straight for 12 hours. And then it was like I was climbing up the walls. I went back to work unofficially 2 weeks early, officially 1 week early. And then I started a new job since I was on here last time. I was counselor in a school, then counselor on a team for mental health, then running the team, all within a couple of months. I actually applied for the job while I was home recovering from surgery, came back and was running the team. I wasn't there long enough to learn how to do the first job, and then I had to tell everybody else how to do their job. Good times. Anyway, so the surgery was October 24th, and by January, I was shooting the bow, winning tournaments, back to IPSC, did an IPSC match. We were supposed to do the January match, and then Captain Andy was double booked, so had to bail like 2 days before, but then did the February match. Or did we do the March match? We did their big level 3 indoor match. That was a good time. I ended up last time I had shot a match. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Last time I shot a match was January of 2024. And then my back went to shit, and then the cancer and all that. So took a bit of a break, and then went back, and it was a level 3, and I ended up I dry fired for 15 minutes, and I went there and I finished 3rd in production optics and 5th over. I can't remember. It was definitely top 3. Yeah. First day was a little rusty, but then the second day I just let it go. I didn't overthink. It just went into autopilot. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So I'll be leaving on Saturday to go back to Nova Scotia for an indoor match on Sunday. So in the meantime, I've been cleaning my press because my square deal has been sitting idle for years. I've had enough ammo sitting around that I didn't need to reload. So I bought 5,000 primers from a cop. He ended up buying somebody out, and there was a bunch of Winchester pistol primers in there. So I got 5,000 primers. I already had 3,000 Campro on hand. So something going on with my square deal, though. I'm going to have to check out some YouTube videos. There's Paul Lombard also has a square deal, and he was saying there's an adjustment there that could be it. So I got to dig into it a little bit more because I don't need to be scrapping primers. And I think that's kind of what it was doing last time I used it. Wasn't lining up, and it was crushing the primer. It was flipping the primer. So anyway, I got to get that done. And then I'm going to renew my RO status for IPSC. Prior to COVID, I was a range master. I was one of the first ones, the first one to get the range master status under the new leadership and the new, like, for years, people were just kind of appointed range master, and then there was a new sheriff in town, and he he revamped the National Range Officer Association of Canada, working with IPSC World, stuff like that. Came out with a new way of certifying a range master. So I went through all that, became a range master, and then during COVID, I couldn't maintain my points, and what I understood was too bad. You got your points or not. Well, how am I supposed to get points if there are no matches? So I just let the whole thing go, including just being a regular range officer.
Wow.
But yeah, so to hell with it. But the local club here is struggling when they have a level 1 and level 2 match because, one, nobody travels up here, which is ridiculous because it's the best IPSC range. And I mean, Dave, you've been there. Adriel, you've been there. Like you guys,
oh my God.
right? It's an amazing range.
Yeah.
Nobody will travel to it. So, so when we have a match, there's a lack of range officers at our club. So to be able to do it officially, I'm going to, I checked with the coordinator for IPSC New Brunswick to find out what I have to do to recertify. And of course, since I used to teach the class, both the RO and the CRO class, I still have all of my materials, the tests, all that stuff. So I'm going to rewrite the tests, send it to him, and then RO for a couple of matches under the supervision of someone I taught. And I'll be recertified again. Yeah. So, and then it's kind of gun related. I got called by a school to consult on a threat assessment and analyze, air quotes, photographs that were stills from their social media profiles, from their videos, to identify what was actually a firearm and what its classification or status was, and what was an air gun or an airsoft. And of note was, one of those Mossbergs wrapped in plastic. Of course, everybody at the school level was calling it an assault rifle. And then there was an image of someone holding what they thought was a handgun behind a school. And I'm like, no, that's a Crossman air pistol. How do you know? I have one. You called me. Don't question me when I tell you something. How do you know? I just took one look at it and said exactly what it was. They're like, how do you know? I have one. Anyway, so yeah. With this new job, I'm going to be around a lot more. And so I'll be shooting a lot more. I spent all my summer in Fredericton last year, and I didn't shoot a match because I was waiting for surgery and my back was screwed up. But got the surgery, so the cancer's gone. I just got another cortisone injection, so my back isn't all messed up. So I've been getting after it hard with the archery and the IPSC, and I'm looking forward to. I registered for the Hampton SNB, Southern New Brunswick 250. So it's sometimes level 2, sometimes level 3. I don't know. I don't care. But it's a 250 round match all in one day. They have it on the longest day of the year. It usually falls right around June 21st. So I got registered for that the other day. Looking forward to that because the Hampton Club knows how to put on an IPSC match, and the crew down there is a good time. Everybody in New Brunswick who's serious about IPSC is going to be there, so that'll be a good time.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Fix my press, shoot some matches.
Well,
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, well, like I said, being gone and just not posting your life on social media is not the same thing.
Oh, we were pretty sure you had given up all of your guns, right? Like,
Yeah, I know. It's a lovely, allegedly I did. What guns? I don't have any guns. What are you
yeah.
talking
Well, I mean,
about?
clearly, like, look at the wall. There's no
Right.
guns there. Yeah.
I will never
Last-
admit in public ever again to what I own or don't own allegedly.
Last thing I heard, you were heading over the border into Tijuana in a pink limousine. So that's
was
last
for-
I heard.
That was for an operation that we're not going to talk about. Stem cells are cheaper down there.
And readily available everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get into upcoming events. Maple Seeds. Yeah, we got some of those coming out. If you're a member of Project Maple Seed, you'll see those in the email I sent out a little bit earlier today. If you're not on there, Then Frontenac has an event on April 26th in Ontario. Kamloops May 3rd. Cape Nova in Nova Scotia has got a doubleheader May 16th and 17th. SPFGA just east of Edmonton May 24th and 25th. And then getting into the summer, Rocky Rod and Gun Club. I'm going to do one out there. Brockville District in Ontario. Is this Havelock Sportsman's Club or Havelock? I'm going to say Havelock. Havelock.
That's how we
Sportsman's
pronounce
Club.
it here.
Well, Trevor.
I'm going to do one in Vermilion Gun Club, July 5th. Lower Trenton Valley will be July 12th. July 13th in Bonnyville. We're going to do a Maple Seed. It'll be the Sunday. Blindman Valley, August 9th, and then August 23rd and 24th at Sherwood Park as well in Edmonton. I got pretty much my full schedule up there, so that's what I'm doing in Alberta, but we've got a couple other sheep bosses that might add some dates to it. Tony, I assume this is your Steel Challenge one up here?
Yep, there will be a Steel Challenge weekend match this Saturday at the BTSA. Registration on Practice Score, as always.
Cool. Kyle, I assume this is yours, but since you're typing, Peace River released their 2025 dates for Mighty Peace 3-Gun. That'll be May 3rd, June 7th and 8th, August 9th, and October 4th and 5th. That October 4th and 5th will be their team match. Dave, I assume this is your ORA.
It is. I forgot to mention I've got the first ORA event of the year is this Sunday at CFB Borden. It's all booked up, so tough luck. But I do have a 200, another one on May 3rd, which is going to be a 15 and 100 yard shoot. And then we've got a 200, 300, 400, and 500 yard shoot on May 4th. Ooh. So check out Practice Score. Go to OntarioRifleAssociation.ca. Look for the mid-range practice if you want to come out to that. It'll be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. Our friend Chris, Sporting Rifle, will be on the range helping me out. So it's going to be a fun day with cool people, and all of the other ORA events are up for the year as well. We got I don't even know 75 shoots this year.
Wow.
yeah, we're a busy lot, and it's $195 for a membership. So sign up for the ORA, come out and shoot. It's going to be a blast.
Cool. Kyle, I assume you added this one. Sherwood Park released their dates for multi-gun. See them on Practice Score. I've also got all the 3-gun dates that for Sherwood Park, Mighty Peace, Chaz, all the other ones I could find that are in Alberta or Canada here. They're all up at 3gun.ca. Getting into the news, the crypto was FRT banned.
What? Since when?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
The government doesn't like crypto.
Yeah, I just watched Runkle's video on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you happen to have a crypto, don't tell anybody you have it and bury it in your basement somewhere because maybe you're covered by the amnesty and maybe you're not.
The rationale, Dave, was it was banned before you invented it and built it.
Yes, because it's a variant of the AR-15.
Yeah,
so.
you built. It's on you for building a rifle that we already banned.
Yep. Should have known better.
Yep.
Even though, I heard a lot of other people saying, this rifle was made to be compliant because it was made to only take 5-round mags.
They made it according to the spec that was given to them by the government.
The government who said that you could still build new guns. Oh, it'll be Canadian innovation. We will build new guns. Okay, great. We built a new gun to your specifications. Banned.
And if anybody believes that, they're dumb.
Oh, well, they kind of say that they left it open to change because they figured people were going to try and work around the system, actually build stuff according to the laws that they put out. Yeah.
No, that's a loophole. If you build something according to the law, that's a loophole.
Exactly, Dustin. Every time we do it the way they wrote it. Sorry, Dave, what was that?
I said, we didn't want you building new guns. This law was meant so you couldn't build new guns, damn it. So we'll ban that one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the real agenda and truth.
Guys, it would be much more clear if they hired on an activist or something like that, right inside as an MP. That would be a more clear signal than what you guys are talking about. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to wait until that happens.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right. It's time to smoke some copium. The Edmonton rally for the Conservatives was nuts.
It was
I didn't actually go because I'm too lazy, but a couple of buddies of mine went, and they said it was absolutely bananas. There are 15,000 people, which doesn't happen a lot. Like normally, our political rallies here are not as well attended, but.
Somebody did an article about that because the Liberals were comparing it to Trump rallies, and then the National Post, I think, pointed out that the biggest political rallies in Canada ever were Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do not inconvenience them with the truth, Dave.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's challenging because, like, at every turn, there really is like a predetermined. Desired, predetermined like outcome, from everyone in the mass media, like everyone, and it feels really like they are trying real hard to steer that bus in that direction. But I don't know, like it's whether it's like sampling from when you look at like the weighting of the sampling of the polls where you're sampling 60, 70, 80% boomers, wow, you see they're the ones that vote. And like, okay, well, there's like a whole new cohort of folks that are coming online to voting the very first time ever. None of them can have homes. None of them seem to be able to have jobs. And a lot of them are pissed that they can't have guns now. And I don't know, like I met a bunch of young folks when I like young kids, like 19, 20-year-old kids that are excited this is their first time to vote. And like there was a group of them that were like, yeah, we're organizing to go do our own door knocking effort. I'm like, on your own? Like nobody? Yeah, like good for you guys. Like that.
Awesome.
There's a lot of that, and I don't know if that's being accounted for, if it's being ignored. I don't know. I'm gonna smoke that copium right to the end.
Yeah, I don't think I think their polling is accurate, but I'm going to smoke the copium too.
Well, it's I'm not saying that the polling is not accurate. But if you look at the weighting of that polling, that's the thing that I'm dubious about a little bit. You know what I mean? Like when you dig into it and you're like, okay, yeah, we're weighting it like 70%, in that 65 plus range, the boomers that always vote, always vote. And I get that. You can't rely on the 18 to 22, 25-year-olds to go to the, polling station.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
maybe they'll get pissed off enough to do it.
It's a story of, is weed more important or is it your future that's more important, right? Like,
well, I mean, it's also
weed.
That one was one of the highest turnout for youth people.
Yeah. That's also a story of why does the NDP have to suck this bad? Because if they didn't, we wouldn't be stressed right now.
Mm-hmm.
True. Speaking of media bias, did you guys see that CBC piece about young men getting into shooting and record?
Because it was on the CBC. Like, was that a trick question, Dave? Did you see the CBC article? You lost me. No.
See, I watched their stuff because you have to know what the enemy is up to. So the CBC put out this video, and it's all about record number of firearms licenses with record highs, record numbers of increases. So I'm like, wow, CBC actually reported something positive. And then I watched the video and I'm like, nope, because they all made it sound bad. It's young men. They had guys talking about getting guns for self-defense. And then they interviewed Wendy Kukier, who's, of course, very concerned about this whole thing and how everything's going to go south. And then some other anti-gun guys going on about how we're importing toxic masculinity and gun culture from America.
Yeah.
I'm like, you somehow took a good news story about a bunch of young people and no mention that a ton of women are getting guns too. Nothing about that.
Of course not.
Right? It's all negative. And I'm like, I watched it. I'm like, this should be good news, especially to Wendy, because she's the one that put these laws in place. Hey, Wendy, people are obeying your laws and doing what you wanted and getting gun licenses and joining the safest shooting sports in Canada. Safest sports in Canada. Like, nope, it's all young men. Toxic masculinity or something. Screw
fantasies of power and that kind of thing. I actually, one of the guys who was there commented on the Reddit post about it, and he was pissed. He was like, "No, this is a rug pull. Like they're so nice, and we covered this and that, and they did their pull quotes, and they twisted it to say this other thing that was not what we're generally talking about." So,
yeah. And how could anybody in the firearms community not see that coming? Like, if the Liberals ever called the Ruscus Gun Club and say, hey, we want to talk about a rise in gun. No, because you're the bought and paid for liberal media.
Yeah.
That's
If anybody thinks that the CBC is ever going to not do a bait and switch, how could you still be so naive?
Because we believe the other side isn't evil, Trevor, and that's the problem. Because we're not. That's the problem.
Why do you keep telling me I'm
Still
evil?
open.
The problem is
You're good evil, though.
both sides are full of shit and lie constantly and
True.
change their narrative when it suits them, right?
Yep.
But there's one side that wants to take a little bit less of our shit, our money, our property, our guns. Both sides are good for nothing, useless liars.
Completely.
The
agree.
only reason that we're supporting one side is because that side doesn't want to take our stuff.
I always vote for the party that will increase the entropy of the universe the least quickly.
Yep.
That tends to be the CPC.
cool. Getting into more positive news, the Toronto Police Association released a statement yesterday evening. Our members seized 3 firearms in a matter of hours. 2 were seized in 22 Division, TPS, and a third at the other end of the city in 51 Division. Gun seizures used to be rare, but now they are a daily occurrence, sometimes many over. Gun bans and the buyback programs do not work.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
that's awesome.
Well,
Thank you, Toronto Police Association, for telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that they've started doing that. I noticed Peel Region had a bunch of seizures a couple months ago, and they specifically said in the news release, none of these were legal in Canada.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right in the news release.
Like one thing that I could see as irking the police associations is like catch and release. When there's catch and release, they have to impose release conditions on criminals, and they have to babysit them. Like the cops are stuck with babysitting. Oh, you have a condition, you're not supposed to associate with any of the old people that you used to associate with. Who's got a police? Oh, the police have to check up on this guy now. Are you associating? You're not supposed to smoke meth. Oh no, they got to check up on this. Crackhead. Are you still smoking meth?
Switch to crack. All right, then. Have a nice day.
Yeah, no, he's on the Fenny now. Okay, I guess that's fine.
So,
that's got to be painful for cops, and it's got to be one of the things that's like really sticking on their cross. So I could see why they're starting to say more of this stuff, to say like, yeah, these gun bans don't work. They're just going to make worst comes to the worst. Carney gets in, they start doing gun seizures. Now what do the cops got to do? They got to go seize a bunch of guns from a bunch of gun owners. I can't imagine they're looking forward to that.
No,
they're motivated not. Sorry,
no, there's guys that are going to walk over that. They're not going to be down for disarming the population of law-abiding, vetted gun owners.
I hope that there's some guys willing to walk over that.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch of people quit if it came to that. Where no, this is your job. You are doing this. Okay, fine. Here.
Not my job anymore. Yeah.
Not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
To be your Gestapo.
You guys say that, but in the UK, they're arresting people for posting mean things on Facebook.
It's the UK, though. They don't believe in rights there. Like,
dude, we're only 10 years away from
Where do you think the Liberal Party wants to take this all?
Oh, I know.
Who's on our money?
Yeah.
Whatever's happening in the UK is 10 years away for us.
Yeah.
I'll give you a quote from a police officer that I have met before, and he said, "Work is just stupid. It's a revolving door of arrested, and the courts let them out the next day." So,
Yeah,
gotta be
domestic.
That's the problem,
violent.
and everyone knows it except the guys in charge. Everyone knows it.
Well, they know it. They just don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because somebody's pulling their strings. So there's a thing called diversion. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the diversion program, right? It used to be young offenders, rather than giving them a record, if they go through the diversion program and they make amends and come up with a plan and get counseling, right? And then it was like adults with, petty crime. Well, now intimate partner violence, diversion.
Yep.
Seriously?
Divert to minimum
You tried to strangle your partner and you're going to diversion?
Is that the kind of same system where they give them a bunch of poetry to study?
Depends on who they get to work with. It could be.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with not giving people criminal records for stupid things, because you should probably just get a slap upside the head and what are you doing? Don't do it again.
Especially if you're young.
Yeah,
We got to get that caning thing, like in India during COVID when people were running around with masks on. They didn't take it; they hit them with canes. It's like, oh yeah, let's just do that more. Speed like that. Get out.
back in the 90s, that rich spoiled American kid that was in Singapore and he graffitied some cars. The whole world knew that little bitch was going to get caned.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the outcry, and then other parts of the world going, yeah, I mean, when in Rome. Like you picked the wrong country to spray paint a car in.
Yeah.
And they're not going to chop your hands off. They're not going to put you in jail. They're just going to hit you with a stick. It's going to hurt. Yeah. You'll be fine in a week.
Yeah. I think the problem is here is that we literally let people out over and over and over until they actually manage to kill somebody.
What happened?
We let them out some more.
Not after you kill somebody. You're going to be locked up. You're not getting bail for that.
No, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
There's a guy in Bathurst, a convicted pedophile. He was out on parole, and one of his conditions, as you can well imagine, was, dude, don't stay away from kids, okay? 14-year-old girl went missing. The last place she was seen was on video getting into what? That motherfucker's truck.
Mm-hmm.
They picked him up. He's in jail. What is he in jail for? Breaching those conditions, not for her murder. But they fucking know he did it. They just haven't found her body and don't have enough evidence to charge him yet. But they know goddamn well he did it. So, like, the conditions for a pedophile should be a 45 to the back of the head, not, hey, man, do me a favor. Don't diddle kids anymore. I promise. Now, there's a dead 14-year-old, a daughter, gone from their family. She'll never grow up and live her potential because our system let a fucking pedophile out with a piece of paper that said, don't diddle kids anymore, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God there was a camera there. Because at least they got him for that.
Yeah. I think something like 30% of murders in Canada last year, I think I read, were by people who were out on parole.
Yeah. But there was that one that just happened. The guy killed someone and he was out on parole for like another homicide.
Really?
I recall that, Dustin. That was really recently here. And then on the other side of the coin, so in Edmonton here, we had a girl abducted and brought down to the States. They charged him in the States. Guess what happened to him? 50 years. He's never getting out.
That guy on the Greyhound bus in Winnipeg, it happened a couple of blocks from where I was shooting Canadian Archery Nationals. It happened while I was there in Winnipeg. Oh, he's out.
Yeah. Do you know where he's working? Do you know where he's working now?
Oh, Jesus. Not for Greyhound.
You haven't heard
Tell me he doesn't work for Greyhound.
No. He's working for a Jamaican travel company. Hey, buddy, where you be heading?
Oh. That is almost sad. Almost. Like, no. You know what? That is disrespectful.
Hey, I made Adriel laugh.
I approve.
Dude. But no, it's true. I know someone that went through a similar thing as that girl when she was young. Her father basically human trafficked her, and he ended up being arrested in the States, and he's in jail for life now.
Good.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and it should. That is exactly the thing that should happen. I know another case, someone I went to school with, his own fucking kid. And he managed to get out with like after a year and a half, courtesy of like, well, you see, I'm doing stuff with my church now, and I'm reformed, I'm very good. Like, man, I went to school with you. I just, you knew better then. Should have just taken yourself out of the gene pool, honestly. But goddamn, like he should not be out. They should not be out.
Yeah,
no.
But that's our system.
And there's a lot. We're still friends, Scott. I'm friends with you anyway. I understand the thing about, you don't want to keep people in jail, but some people you need to keep in jail because they're just plain gonna do stuff. Just like, that's not compassion to anyone. Like I've heard that, it's compassion. You don't want to keep people in jail. People have had rough lives.
The community? Blah, blah, blah. What about compassion for the victims?
And you release them back into their own community, and they hurt the people that you say you feel compassion for. Like our friend up in not James Bay, James, the brain not working, James Cremation, I think it was. He had 31 casualties, 11 deaths, 19 people injured, because you let out a guy who had like dozens and dozens and dozens of violent convictions. And then people are like, oh, that's crazy. How'd that happen? Everyone knew it was going to, I would say. Like the easily foreseeable results of your actions. Like,
but then the problem is that the people making the decisions, you know, they live in a different world. Like, again, I think about when I was doing that armorer gig and I was in the same hotel as Trudeau, and like, well, he had a team that I met the day before that I had to deal with the day I was moving guns around. I had a guy with a real gun over my shoulder the whole damn day, because they're insulating the people that make the decisions. Those, they get protection. So they don't have to care. They don't have to care about the rest of us. They got a team.
Yeah.
You know, in the fall, this was like people were starting to get a little bit upset about the justice system, about affordability and that kind of thing. But now I think, too many Canadians are just obsessed with Trump and they want to vote for someone that they think is going to fight him. Anyways, let's get on to some more cheery subjects here. Let's talk about some new gun stuff.
Yes. Yay, new gun stuff.
This Lee primer pocket gauges. Did we have this? Did we do that last week, Tony?
No, we didn't. Last week the show was short, but can you put it up for me? Thank you.
I sure can. Yeah.
So basically,
I really wish you would have said, "Could you get it up for me?" You would have created a soundbite forever.
No, let's not do that.
Can't it be both?
So, pocket primer pocket gauges are not a thing out of this world, so to speak. There are a few smaller manufacturers or more boutique manufacturers making them previously, but they are not very commonly available or very affordable. So Lee finally came out with this set. I don't know why it took them so long, because they had primer pocket swaging stuff before that. So like, you don't have a tool to measure how you swaged it, but this is a tool now.
Swage away.
So it's like $12 US for the set with the large and the small rifle.
So this is to ensure that you've not overcut the pocket or gone too deep, or what?
You either have a military crimp you haven't removed completely, or if your pocket is greater than semi size, if you're
stretched out. Okay.
You went too hot, too spicy on your loads.
Yes. Yeah. So next thing you know, your primers aren't staying in the pocket. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So cheap insurance, I would consider these to be pretty much mandatory going forward, just because they're pretty affordable.
Yeah, $10 is pretty good.
$10, who cares? Yeah.
You're gonna load up 1,000 rounds of 223 and check every one individually like that? Ugh.
No, primer falls out. I'll just rack the action.
Right.
Hey, Trevor, this one's for you.
I see that. There it is. Look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not $100. It's a little bit more,
sure not.
1,100.
I like it full. Nope, full send. Whatever you're shooting with this is getting it. Right?
26-inch barrel. That is ridiculous.
I've never seen 126.
You're not even
That's crazy for a side.
The thing is, you wouldn't feel that thing shoot.
Right?
No.
Now, could you put 45?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, $1,000. But I was looking at some of the other ones that they had here, and they just didn't have anything really that like in 410. I was really interested in, like a bunch of single shots. But like, look at this barrel on this thing, 25 inches, and it's a bolt action.
That's amazing.
That is cool. I want that.
It's a giant Cooey. It's a Cooey.
Now,
if you want one of these
410 Cooey.
Awesome.
$269, and then they had some single shots. But yeah, the barrel length. Look at that weird thing.
You don't even need to. You don't even need to shoot.
What kind of drop back home is that?
I don't know. It's weird, right?
It's like something from the 1500s.
You put the stock under the shoulder,
under your armpit,
under your arm.
Yeah. Some interesting stuff there. Western Metal now offers pickup in Edmonton and Calgary. Yeah, I guess Tony and I figured this out because I ordered that gun off them, and they had free pickup in Calgary, so I picked that because Tony was going to come up, and then they're like, "Oh, we can just drop it off in Edmonton for you." Drop it off at Phoenix. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Trevor, did you want to say goodbye so that I'm not like taking you too long here?
Yeah, I was going to try and jump in between segments, but yeah, I got to run, guys. It's been fun. It's been awesome. And yeah, let's not wait 100 shows to do it again, right? Anytime you're doing something like IPSC themed or whatever, it doesn't necessarily have to
making
be,
fun of RC themed,
RC
like
Listen, man,
Aw, no,
I
Trevor
allow
looks
you to
sad.
have blue hair. I respect your individuality. I don't, you know what I mean? I didn't pick on the new guy all that much, but it was the struggle was real, you know. So don't pick on my hobbies, dude.
Respectful Trevor, who would have thought?
Yeah. Where you be heading? I'm going to use that at work tomorrow.
You totally should.
Yeah, so I
Good to see you, Trevor.
I got to run, guys. But thanks again, and yeah, let's definitely do this again soon, sometime.
definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right,
man.
see you,
Good
Trevor.
night, everybody.
See ya.
Good night.
All right. This I just saw on Wild Wednesday. Range Max has their tactical 3-gun cases on sale. I'm going to buy another one. I already have 2. That's my vote of confidence in them.
That's
Case
like-
master, yes.
What's that?
So you're the case master. So many cases, all the cases, yes.
Yeah, I have lots of cases. But like for going to the range, they pad the guns fairly well and they fit free. And
May have to buy one.
but if I go to the range, I'm not taking one gun. I'm
Does
taking
it have 3 sleeves? Like, does it have a
2 long guns and there's a pistol pouch in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
It's a good price too.
Yeah, $100. That's not bad.
Yeah. Yep,
Um,
exactly.
I put this S&J one up. It's worth it.
Wait. Where's the S&J? This one.
It's just on the bottom. Yeah. If you got 40. It's a good deal. If anybody shoots 40, this is good ammo and that's a good price.
Frangibles. Cool.
Yeah, $25 down from 50. Anybody that shoots, my roommate and I just split a case. So
Cool.
Yeah, for our listeners, it's 40 Smith & Wesson frangible 125 grain, 50 rounds for $25.
Yeah.
Over at S&J.
What?
50 cents a round for frangible? That's not bad at all.
in 40, right? Like,
too.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was a good deal. We
Well,
ordered a case.
I don't
earlier
really
today.
look at frangible a lot, but isn't it usually typically like $1 a round for frangible?
Yeah, it's super
Yeah.
expensive.
Mhm.
I have this stuff in 9 and in 45, or in 9 and 40, and it shoots great. So it's fantastic.
So isn't that actually pretty reasonable just for 40 these days?
That's reasonable for 40, and then it's frangible on top of it. So you can, yeah, it's pretty great stuff. I don't get to shoot it very often, but every once in a while, Scott at International gets some in at a good deal, and I go and make my wallet cry.
Cool.
Yeah.
We also have Victronics. Who's got the Victronics one up here?
Well, Craig was showing me that, so I kind of want to give the mic over to Craig for him to describe it.
Okay, so these binoculars will Bluetooth to your Kestrel, so you can take all your wind calls and environmental calls from your Kestrel, and then it will have internal rangefinder and an internal HUD and an internal inclination
Wow.
to run through their ballistic calculator to give you your shot calls.
Wow.
Okay, but I got all that in this thing right here. This
Plus infrared floodlight.
yeah.
Yeah, but this
not
has
be as
applied ballistics. Like on
That's
that
cool.
webpage, if you scroll down, it shows like the heads-up display and like 2 choices of reticles in there. Like this thing's crazy. And 7,000 yard range finding.
Yeah, that's excellent. Oh, wait, I gotta click on it. No, they're just gonna give me a little text overlay. Power management. Oh, it takes an 18650. Good idea. Standard batteries.
Oh yeah, it even has a compass. If you look at the HUD screen,
Oh,
it's got
wow.
a compass to tell you what direction you're facing.
That's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
What's the
943 yards. How many rad?
what's the price tag on those?
They start at 2,700 US.
Oh, real affordable. Yeah, perfectly reasonable.
Firmware updates.
Firmware
Range
updates.
enhancements.
Oh, I bricked my binoculars. That's really
Screw
cool.
on range boosters.
I'm
Oh.
guessing they're not really intending to sell these to just random people. This looks
No.
like this seems like go fast military unit stuff.
Yeah. Increase magnification by 40%. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you definitely want those on a tripod at that point.
Yeah.
Well, until you get the cool like image stabilization stuff that some of the real bougie expensive ones have. I got to play with a pair that lived in a police plane, and I was working at a airplane hangar, and literally like they gave them to me like, here, go stand on the other side of the hangar, look at me, and jump up and down. It's wild, super cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
Sounds expensive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Scope of delivery. More accessories. Neat. Yeah, very cool.
That's fine, Craig.
Yeah. We're supposed to do a listener call in or something like that for today. I don't know. We still gonna do that? If any listeners want to call in, I guess we
if
could.
somebody wants to jump on, sure.
Yeah. We're kind of at 7:30 Mountain right now, so
yeah, we're
a couple minutes left, anyways. While we're waiting to see if anyone wants to hop on, Tony, you want to take us through the YouTube comments that we've had for the last 2 weeks?
2
I guess.
weeks. Yes.
How is Eddie doing?
What are his opinions on things?
No CCFR. That was from the week before. Was it? No. Yes. Well, no. Well,
it would have been CCFR week and then last week.
Yeah, CCFR week. So CCFR mentioned, thanks for having us on. Great conversation as always, and we always appreciate CCFR coming on with us.
Yeah.
Eddie, Adriel, further to your rant against revolvers, no one is designing any new singles actions because they're obsolete. Well, technically speaking, the Ruger Wrangler is a newer design. It doesn't have a half-cock safety, right? So they made it more dumber proof.
There's no half-cock, and there's no hammer fully down isn't unsafe. Hammer fully down isn't touching the firing pin.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to come up with a new design. For example, a single action with a proper grip angle, but the market is now a compact double stack polymer striker fire semi-auto for CCW or full-size race guns. Well, at least it is when you can still buy handguns. Did you use the Cabela's affiliate link for your large rifle primers and lead sled purchase?
I think I did.
You think you did?
But okay, that Plow's head grip, for example, that I think I was complaining about so much, there's no reason why they needed to do that on this gun.
The BFR.
Yes.
They didn't have
to.
I've always been curious about shooting one of those things.
I highly doubt that the F in that they mean to mean finest.
Big fabulous gun.
Yeah,
big fabulous revolver.
Yeah, I have no doubt what the F stands for.
Was it available in 4570, or am I out to lunch?
I think it was, but
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I got video shooting one in 4570. It's
goodness,
awesome.
444 Marlin.
Oh yeah, all the big frame. Oh yeah.
Screw your wrist, screw your shoulders, screw your target, and screw all of those things behind your target too.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's awesome.
I wonder how much velocity you lose on that. It'll be a lot.
All of it.
Yeah. Oh, these things are 5 pounds.
Wow, that will tame down
almost
the recoil a little bit.
What your AR weighs almost.
I wanted one, but only so that I could do something ridiculous to it. I kind of wanted to turn it into like a demon hunting gun, like put some cool etched runes and things on it, make it cool. But
I'm trying to think what else is in the 45-70 range. That's a little different and a little bit more unique. I think usually the two is 444 Marlin and then 4570. That's like the combo.
Yeah.
Or lever gun anyway. Second comment from Eddie. Sorry to hear about Kelly's father. His condolences. We thank you for that. Sorry Kelly isn't on the show today. The tragedy of the NDP may become a tragedy for all Canadians. According to 338 Canada, Jack Meany is most likely to lose his seat in Parliament. He's polling 5% behind the Conservatives, who is 17% behind the Liberals, but doesn't shed any tears for him as he got his 6 years in as an MP and will be getting his golden pension. What, $2 million by calculation?
It's all that mattered.
His self-serving, selfish.
Does he care about $2 million? That guy actually?
Maybe, I don't know. His self-serving, selfish reason to vote confidence in the Liberals last year has put all Canadians in the situation we're in today. I would agree with that.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Eddie. Hey, Eddie, come on the show.
That's true. I don't know if he only watches.
How do people
YouTube.
come on the show? How do people get on here right now?
We could just comment. We could just give him the link.
Comment. We'll give you the link.
There you go. Come on, Scott. Get on here.
We didn't announce it beforehand, though, so I can't imagine we're going to have a lot of interest.
It's our fault
to do it. Yeah.
We have
Scott and Kelly. Get on here.
New viewers here.
Oh.
Bruce Renwick, 6866. Great show was Daniel. We need to get this corrupt government out. Thanks for fighting the fight. Thank you. And thank you for voting, maybe, potentially. Please do. Uncivilized public servant 76. As a Quebecer, I should get on your show. I promise I won't speak French.
You could. It's just none of us will understand you.
Public servant, you should be on the call-in show. And if you have a topic for us, we would like to have you as a guest. For sure.
Yeah. I'm really curious what next week's topic should be, because it is our last week before the election.
You know, it's going to be a long weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And then the election,
really long week.
and like the election's on Tuesday, right? So by Wednesday, we will know if it's sadness or happiness. Like we'll know on the Wednesday on the show.
Oh God! On the show, it will be counted like Monday evening.
No. The election's Tuesday. They'll have it counted by the end of Wednesday. We'll know who's in charge.
Okay.
Probably by Wednesday morning.
How does the Canadian swearing-in process work? Like, how long do you have for that?
I don't know. I don't know if they're doing.
Isn't it like within the week?
Nope.
We're gonna know within the next day for sure.
No, I meant like the transition.
There's not going to be a transition though.
Well, if
It might be.
hypothetically, if there,
Yikes!
Look at this guy. He's already given up. He's already calling her quits.
I'm dooming too much here. Sorry, guys.
Adriel is a defeatist,
Bring us down.
an accelerationist.
I was optimistic. I was optimistic late last year.
We've been in majority.
But you're still going to go to vote, right?
2 years. Come on.
My vote
We've got
doesn't count anymore, Tony. I'm in
We've,
Alberta.
we've got a legitimate
No,
chance.
still got to go.
The NDP only need to hold on to a bunch of their ridings, split enough votes. The Bloc's already starting to swing things back in their direction. I've got my predictions. I'm not counting the Conservatives out just yet. That's just me, ever the eternal optimist. But I don't know.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, yeah. I was about to say, stranger things have happened,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
The
really,
polling could be wrong. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the polling has also been tightening, right?
It's right at the moment, but who knows? You got time.
The reality is,
I understand the argument with trusting the polling because we like the polling when the polling shows the Conservatives ahead. So I understand that statement. But on the same token, like I look at the rallies. I mean, they're bragging about 30 people at Krista Freeland's rally. Carney's getting fraction
1,000.
of what Pierre.
1,000 in Calgary, but like Pierre got
600.
15,000.
Yeah, like he's getting a fraction. I'm curious to see because I think Pierre's got a rally in like Kingston or something close by there. I'm curious to see what he draws for numbers there.
Yeah, I think we could be looking at minority territory, maybe, or slim majority territory, depending on how the vote splits happen. But like I don't think that the NDP are going to do as bad as they are polling right now. Nobody in the NDP thinks they're going to do as bad as the polling is right now. And historically, they've never done as bad as the polling is right now, even when the polling is that bad. So like there could be a bit of an Ontario effect, right? They were dead and gone in Ontario too, and they're still holding the balance there. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth calling it doom and gloom yet, but
Well, even if it is and the polls are against us, just let that motivate you to make sure that all your conservative friends get out and vote.
yep.
That is odd though, because Ontario just had a provincial election and they had conservatives back then.
The Conservative has been in provincially in Ontario for
Right.
like 10 years now, isn't it? Or,
Yeah.
Like,
This was
but you look at Doug Ford, like he's more liberal than some liberals.
he's a red Tory all day long. No, he's definitely not like our conservative, but what I was talking about there is like the split that happened, or like the NDP were supposed to be dead and gone. Like it was supposed to be blue wave in Ontario, and it was not that, right? The NDP actually managed to pull a lot more votes than any of the polls thought that they were gonna. Like nobody got the NDP right in that election. And it's not the first time that nobody's gotten the NDP right. I think the more every day that people see more Carney, like yesterday, his just flat inability to just outrightly say no, tax havens are bad. That's a big thing, and that's going to be a big thing. I did too, but that's going to be a giant thing for a lot of those like proper left-sitting fence, like leftist fence sitters who were like, maybe I could hold my nose and vote for Carney for like, because we don't want Pierre in power. But that's actually like radioactive to folks like that in a big way. And whether you like it or not, there's a lot of those people, right? I think on the day, I think you'll see a lot more people who are like, no, man, like another multimillionaire globalist, I can't vote for that. And if enough people vote their conscience in that world, we get what we want.
Or if Singh just, I don't know, comes out a little bit tougher and looks like he'd do a better job against Trump.
Right. Oh, no, they're already like they're not even playing, right? Like right now they are running a campaign for holding on to some of their seats. Like that is the campaign that they are running. When he talks about when I'm prime minister, like you're not even going to have a seat. Like
giggles.
And
when I'm an astronaut one day.
No seats doesn't mean no prime minister, right?
Well, apparently not. Because
yeah, I don't know, but
it would be funny if Carney doesn't get that seat.
That would be hilarious.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
Sorry,
probably not going to happen. Yeah. Tony, did we get through all the YouTube comments?
Not yet. We have PGD Tour. We all have to go get friends and family to vote. It isn't good enough that we vote. We have to volunteer as well, and we will fully support that. We'll agree with that. A long one from 3D Videos. Murray, the Conservative and Pierre hasn't screwed up anything. Eastern Canada has simply gone full delusional over the annexation and trade war drama and thrown all rational thoughts into the St. Lawrence River. On top of the Conservatives attacking the CBC at a time when national propaganda is most powerful, bad timing for the CPC. Carney Liberal Party has mirrored the CPC playbook so closely the CBC had to admit they have leaned slightly right. Can't vote for Pierre because he will sell Canada to Trump, but yet when Carney makes a post-election deal promise to Trump over the phone, the left applauded him. If Danielle Smith traveled to the States to plead the Alberta case, she's labeled a traitor. But when all the other premiers had to DC, the left was all elbows up. We're going to fight like hell. We're never going to be 51st state, but becoming the 28th EU member, sign us up. How can you convince that sort of mentality? You cannot. You can only bread it, and sadly, we are losing the race too. Yeah, we still got to try, right? We still got to try.
Yep.
Yep.
And
go down fighting if you go down.
And as promised, 2 comments from Eddie. First, his criticism of us. What happened to the rest of the show? Yes, the guest segment ran long, but it would still be nice to hear the standard segment of the show like what we did in Guns.
Yeah, we did it today.
I replied to Eddie.
Thank you. And CCW for all Canadians would be great, but skeptic in me believes the good intention would be perverted into the law that allows CCW for rulers and elites, but not for the proletarian.
Proletariat. The common man.
I remember it was like a thing in the bourgeoisie, like the revolution and stuff. That's all the comments we got.
Cool.
And hopefully it doesn't go to that. You know what? I think Alberta, Dr. Terry, get our back. But again, they got to release that right back to the provinces. That's the first step. So we got to win. That's the first step.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got to win first. I think we can. I realize that Adriel's already checked out. He's already, starting to look at where am I living next, and all that.
I got the Liberal flag on my window. It's
best that way they don't knock your door down.
Right, NDP, yeah.
Right, yeah. And whether or not I'm exploring other countries of opportunity and or really expanding the use of my business license, all of that aside, I still do have hope, and I think we should.
Yep.
Okay,
Texas.
Moving on.
Yeah.
What's that?
Texas.
Not New Mexico. I heard that place sucks.
No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. If you want to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Spotify. This one's on Spotify?
Yeah, we got a comment on Spotify.
Cool. You want to read it, Kyle?
Okay, so from Linkman on episode 596. Love hearing about the old stuff saved from the Gestapo RCMP smelter. I'd love to find an old Canadian tire, Mossberg 870. My dad had one before the registry, and after years of peaceful non-compliance, he lost it to voluntary confiscation when the OPP did a spot check on expired FAC holders.
They did
I think
that?
he means a Remington 870.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But that
Did
sucks.
Did a spot check? Like, no, I don't have any guns anymore. Have a nice day, officers.
Yeah.
Like that's the right way to answer that, but I think a lot of people don't answer that
Do
way.
I have a valid FAC? Why would I have firearms?
A lot of people from other countries don't know you can say no to the cops.
Yeah.
Cops come over and like, hey, can I look at your guns? And you can say no.
Can I look at your
Yep.
warrant?
Yep.
Nothing
You can
personal,
politely
but-
ask to return with a warrant.
Yep.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, sure. You just gotta come back with a warrant, and you can get to look at whatever says that document says you can look at.
With all
right.
respect.
Getting on to sponsor links. Yeah, if you want to buy something from Cabela's or Brownells, go through our website to buy it, or buy it from like a local Canadian club, place instead. Thanks to our supporters on Patreon and Player. Any shout outs or recommendations?
Not this
Shout outs to
week.
Kelly and Scott that are listening.
Yeah. Banana Ballistics put out a new video with weird cartridges. Like, you guys have seen Dragon's Breath for 12 gauge. They made it for 9mm and a bunch of other stuff. They got it on the channel, and he's shooting like ballistic gel with it, and it looks like a lot of fun. So check out Banana Ballistics.
Does it give you more damage though?
It lights up some of them on fire, so I guess
Fire damage. Extra fire
you
damage.
get fire damage plus 2 on there.
If your target is carrying a bucket of gasoline in front of it, then yes.
Yeah. Any others?
Like if you have a bad guy at a gas station saying,
I'll give a shout out
pig.
to Trevor for coming on, and we wish to speak to him soon. And the wishful thinking would be that I would need an IPSC, and the landscape change, and he can give me a recommendation on that. And a recommendation for one of Ronco's later, actually 2 of Ronco's latest videos, Ronco of the Bailey, Ian Ronco. One is on the crypto, basically retro banning a gun that doesn't have FRT and seemed to fit into a non-restricted class. Another one is he got a crazy cease and desist from like a
that one.
I love that one.
natural citizen, what a sovereign citizen.
Sovereign
That's the term.
citizen.
There you go.
So good.
Yeah,
Spends
that's
the
a fun
time
one.
drinking and laughing at him because he's
Yeah.
an idiot. That was great.
As long as Ian's not traveling, I'm sure he's fine. If he's traveling, that becomes an issue. Or conveying, I don't know. Anyways, okay, we're circling the drain here. Join us on Discord. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Join the CCFR. Get out and vote. And we'll see you next week.
See you next
Yeah.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Good night.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.